All right, we're back for part 2 of this wonderful day. I don't know if I can get much better than what we already started with, but we're going to try.
We started this morning with a beautiful hike in the Grand Tetons where we saw a whole family of moose at moose ponds. If you missed that video, I'll leave a link to it down below. But we're staying in this little cottage right behind Mark here, right in the heart of Jackson. And so we're going to continue exploring, having some lunch in Jackson, maybe do a little shopping and sightseeing. And then we're going to head back to the Grand Tetons and see if we can find some elk, check out the visitor center and some other things like that. So that's what we have in store for the rest of today. Come along with us. The first stop is lunch at the Bunnery. I heard about this from my dad's cousin. He said they have really good pastries, but they also have like sandwiches and burgers for lunch. Trying to steal all the pie.
I don't know what she's gonna eat.
Lunch was absolutely delicious. I would say if you're looking for a good place to eat in Jackson, go to the Bunnery. They are only open for like breakfast and lunch, so they close at 3 o'clock. We got there at like 2:40 and they still sat us and let us eat. They even let us order dessert. The caramel apple pie crumble.
Amazing.
Something or other. It was so good.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, all of the food was really good. Mark got the Philly cheesesteak. I got the chicken quesadilla. I would imagine, just based off of our experience, pretty much anything they serve is going to be delicious. Now we're headed back to Grand Teton National Park. This is what, the 4th or 5th time that we've been in this park just in a few short days. That's the nice thing about staying in Jackson. There are definitely pros and cons to staying in Jackson, but one of the nice things is definitely that it's very close to the Teton National Park. Other pros is that, like I said, we haven't had a bad meal since we've been here, so there's lots of shops and restaurants in Jackson. Cons would be, I think, that it's very expensive.
Yeah, food's a little pricey, I think.
Food and lodging is pricey. I mean, we're here in like the off season, so which also has its pros and cons. You know, pro probably being that it's less crowded in the national parks and less crowded in Jackson, but yet, you know, there's still quite a bit of people here. Anyway, so the nice thing about where we're staying, though, as expensive and somewhat crowded as it is, it's nice to be able to be this close to the park, so we can just drive on in anytime we want. We're gonna go to the visitor center. They have a free movie about the national park that they play every hour and half hour, so we're hoping we can make it, if not by the 4 o'clock, the 4:30 one, because they close at 5. And then we're also gonna drive further into the park and see, you know, a different part of the park that we haven't been to yet, see if we can hear some more elk bugling. We've heard it a couple times, including our hike this morning, but we can't get enough of it. It's such a beautiful sound.
It doesn't deter the bear. So Mark, I want you to just randomly out of the blue, whenever you want, come and just charge me. So you charge me, I'm just going down up towards the bear, and that's kind of it. So you're gonna take the safety off. You're gonna hold down this button. You're gonna spray it down towards its face. The most important thing is knowing how to get the safety off quick, because they're charging at you so fast. You have to be able to like get it off. So I would think you see the bear and you're worried, take the safety off already. And then you just hold it, and it's going to come out, you're going to spray towards its face, and get it run away. That's it.
walk up at that visitor center, and there was a ranger program going on, and so Mark
to be part of the show.
Mark volunteered, or maybe I pushed him out there to be volunteer.
Said I look like a bear.
The lady said she wanted somebody to demonstrate like a grizzly bear attack and somebody to volunteer to be the bear. I said, Mark looks like a bear. And I kind of pushed him out there. That's how that happened. And then we watched the movie, which was great. It only took, what, maybe 25 minutes or so. They play it every hour, every half hour.
Very educational. Worth a watch.
Definitely worth a watch. It was really neat to hear about the park's history, all the animal and plants, all the different activities. Just really cool.
And if you've never hiked before where there's bears present, I would recommend actually going there first.
Yeah.
Because that ranger, she laid out, what to do, different scenarios, and kind of talked to you about the correct way to use bear spray and how to act around them and what tendencies to look for and things like that.
Yeah. And then also like the difference between how you react to a grizzly versus how you react to a black bear, because it's very different what you should do. Basically, a black bear, you want to try to fight it if it attacks you, and a grizzly, you want to lay down and play dead. That's kind of like the gist of it, but they give a lot more detail and go into just really good information. So ranger programs are always great. So now we're going to drive further into the Grand Tetons than we have been yet, at least from this entrance. We're going to go past Jenny Lake and see what there is there. The only thing that we haven't seen, we've seen elk in the distance, we've heard them bugling, but we haven't seen any very close in this park yet. So we thought that maybe if we can get a little further north of Jenny Lake, we've heard that that is kind of where they tend to be on this part of the park this time of year. So fingers crossed, that's what we're looking for. If not, the clouds have lifted over the Tetons. I'm sure we'll have some beautiful views along the way. This spot is called the Teton Glacier Turnout. So, I mean, you get this beautiful view of the mountains just right here from your car. I'm literally just hanging out my window and you can see the Teton Glacier. The Grand Teton, which is that tallest peak kind of hiding behind the cloud right there. And then that white spot right there in the middle is the glacier. The sun is really bright right now, but I wanted to show you that this is Cascade Canyon right down the middle, and that was carved out by glaciers. That is the hike that Mark and I did yesterday. It was absolutely beautiful. So if you're an avid hiker, that is a beautiful, beautiful hike, especially in the fall. We saw 2 moose on that trail. I'll leave that video linked below too. But it's just really neat to see it from this viewpoint and knowing that, you hiked 9 miles in between those mountains right there. We found a bull elk. He's down on the other side of that ridge right now. He might be coming back up here. Mark is on top of the truck. So he can see him. He might be getting video on his phone. But you could hear him just a second ago. See if I can get him bugling on camera again.
Can this day get any better?
I don't think so. We are so spoiled.
Everything we ask for, we get. So I'm going to say I want to win the lottery next.
Somehow that never works. I don't know why. But with wildlife, we said we wanted to see moose on the hiking trail that we did this morning, which was the last vlog, and we saw a whole family of them. And we said we wanted to hear some elk bugling. We saw a huge bull elk chasing around, like 7 or 8 cows.
Yeah, he put on a show.
He was really putting on the show, and you could hear another one bugling in the distance. So we stayed there for quite a while, at least 45 minutes or so. We thought maybe if the 2 bull elk get together, they might start fighting. That's probably too much. That's going too far. Too much to ask for.
I mean, you say it to the world, put it out there, and it might happen.
You just never know.
We were lucky though. We came in here. The main intent was to come in here and maybe see a few more elk tonight because we haven't seen a whole lot. I wanted to see a few more bull elk. And then to see one bugle, I mean, we were close enough you could
see the breath coming out of his mouth.
Not only see it, hear it,
Just
like really
amazing.
well, but you could see the breath come out when he did it. It was, and then to see him chasing the cows around, it was
so cool.
everything we asked for.
We're gonna just drive around a little bit longer, and then we have reservations for a really fancy steak dinner tonight, our last night here in Jackson, Wyoming.
So we found the other bull that the other one was bugling back and forth to. He's definitely a lot smaller. He's by himself, as far as I can tell. But yeah, he's nowhere near the bull the other one is, but he's still pretty impressive.
He's all by himself. He needs some girls.
You can hear the other one in the distance. That's the one we just left.
Yeah. You better keep looking, buddy. I don't think you can take him. Keep on going. You'll find somebody someday. Just for a dose of reality, this is what our place looks like whenever we leave at sunrise and don't come back until sunset. We've got some cleaning to do before we go home tomorrow.
We don't really care what it looks like in here. It's not our place.
We gotta keep it real, you know? You can't have it all. You can't have
easily to clean up.
You can't have a clean place to stay and get to do all the fun stuff. Now we've got to head to our dinner reservations at the $1 Million Cowboy Bar.
Giddy up.
For Mark and I, dinner at the Cowboy Bar was more about the experience than the food. The drinks were really good. This local beer that Mark had was delicious. I had some Moscato. The crab cakes were good. It's just that the steak is really hard to beat when you raise your own steak back home, and Mark is also very good at cooking that steak. So it was a pretty pricey meal, but it was a fun experience, and I definitely recommend going to the bar upstairs. That was such a fun atmosphere. Live bands. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you're staying in Jackson and you stop in there. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.